Guten Morgen. I am Winston. This is
Ben.
This is
My name's Jeff.
We are Parkway Drive. To be honest, I think that song was released at like midnight in Australia, so my emotions were. What did you guys reckon? Like, did you have any expectations or anything?
Yeah, I was excited. I really liked that song and was confident that it was going to go well. And the main thing is, for us, is we like it and we don't really care what other people think because we're into it and we wrote the song the way we wanted to write it. So, but it's always good, it's good to get good feedback, and that's what happened. Most people were into it, and yeah, it's been going good ever since.
What are yours?
Oh, it's just a bit of a fearless release. It was a good song. It's heavy. Not too many people get on the internet and talk poopy when you do a heavy launch first. So it was a confident one.
It's the internet. The internet. If the internet was real life, I think this band would be in a very different position. It sounds different from Wishing Wells again, and the thing is, everything on this record sounds different from every other song and sounds different from a lot of things we've done before. So we're expecting people to freak out no matter what, because change is change. And if you don't have an opinion on change, then you're a pretty bland individual.
No one likes change unless it rustles in your pocket.
Oh, from Confucius himself, from confused himself. What do you reckon?
Yeah, a funny comparison is when we released Vice Grip, there was just as much, actually more, different opinions and everyone blowing up on the internet about that song, which we knew was going to happen again. But 3 years on, when we play live, that's our biggest song, hands down. And so when we got the mixed reaction from The Void, we were like, yeah, stoked. That means it's going to be good. So you can't really judge release by the instant shit talking, because like Winston said, it's the internet, and people enjoy talking shit more than they do giving a compliment. So
the reality is, like, when you have 100,000 or 500,000, or like Wishing Wells had like 1.5 million plays or something, and think of how many times that's played, like trying to figure out how many different minds there are enjoying or not enjoying or taking different things away from that song. Like, good luck trying to predict any of that. You just do what you want to do. We don't care. Like, at the end of the day, it's just music. There's like, it's something that we enjoy doing, and if this is ruining your day, man, your day must really suck. Like, seriously, we've been doing this for 15 years. And if you were doing the same thing 15 years ago and you hadn't changed and you hadn't wanted anything else and you were still entertained by the same thing that you do 100 nights a year, then cool. Like, you're in for a very steady life, but we don't. We like doing different things, and we like different music, and we like creating music that we care about. It's quite simple. We have a bunch of records that you apparently like. That's really, really great. Those records aren't going anywhere. We're just making some other ones as well. It's not rocket science.
it's funny how people think that they deserve and like us to explain ourselves. Like, we're just a band making music that we want to make, and it's that simple, really. Like Winston said, those records still exist, and we're different people. We like different things, and it gets really boring writing the same things. We could write another metalcore record like Killing with a Smile pretty easy, because it's real generic and easy for us. It just would sound like every other band that's copied that style that we over 15 years, and it's gotten real stagnant. Like, when you hear just generic breakdowns now, they seem 15 years old to us. And now it's more of a challenge to write heavy music that's actually still interesting and not just that kind of in that era. So it's a challenge, and it's more rewarding when you write something you want to write.
You know what? The thing that was the inspiration for most of it was having no direct inspiration. We found that like the first time we moved away from a defined path on Aya, all of a sudden everyone's like, whoa, they're trying to sound like this band, they're trying to sound like that band. And as soon as we didn't just sound like the one thing they were used to, they immediately wanted to try and find something that we were trying to imitate, which was never the goal. And this time around, just to make sure that wasn't the goal, we're like, right, we're gonna not listen to anything, and we're not gonna write music to sound like anything other than ourselves and the writing process. The process simply was find a little piece of music which we were working on through Jeff coming up with a guitar riff or me having some kind of melody or anything like that, and just build on top of that and find the character of those sounds and how they worked with the other sounds, and just build and build and build until it has something and sounds unique and sounds interesting, and then move on to the next one and just can completely build the album in that way. There was never a point where we were actually like, this needs to have like something that's relevant to this scene or something that sounds like this scene for the sake of it. It was literally, this music is interesting and this part like needs to go faster in the next song because this song was slow, needs to be softer, needs to be heavier, just balancing the entire thing out until we ended up with a completely full picture.
One thing we do get influenced by these days is playing live, same from Aya, because we play to a different crowd these days usually as far as size wise. Most of the time we play to large shows, and basically we just want to have the best live show possible as far as our enjoyment and the crowd's enjoyment. And it's a different thing having a good song and a good live song are two different things. So we just basically want to make sure that there's, in most of our songs they're going to be good live and translate live, whether it comes down to a lot of things, you know, the melody, the catchiness of the song, the tempo of the song, how people can bounce to it and stuff. So that actually influences a lot of the songs, which is kind of a fun way to write.
Jeff can kick this one off. Oh, okay. Gaz, go for it.
Yeah, my favourite song changes all the time, but at the moment it's a song called Pray. It's just a really catchy song. Like there's a guitar line in there that's a full hook, and there's really good vocals. It's fun on drums. It's just a good song. It's the one I'm most looking forward to playing live because it's got a lot of energy and it should be a good one to play, especially at big festivals. So excited.
Mine's probably The Void, just because it feels really good to play live. It's real catchy. The main riff, there's something about the music, it just rocks hard. The solo is not so hard. I can actually play it without making too many mistakes, which is always fun. What else? Yeah, and I think it's going to be a great live song.
I'm going to say mine change all the time as well. Like that's the thing with the album. There's so many different sounds. So I'm going to say Shadowboxing at this point in time. It's a really, really varied song. And it's like, it kind of contains like some of the heaviest, like that one of the heaviest riffs on the album with the softest parts of the album into the one song, and then it's got all those strings and like the stupidly fast rap parts and stuff, and it's just a mind-bending combination that works really well. And like ever since, like that was the first riff we wrote for the entire album, was the chorus on that thing, and I still can't get it out of my head, and it's been 2 years since I first heard it.